Hi friends, so I just finished recording the romantic love reading for June 2025, and I was saying how we're going to be talking about the friends and family type of love next, and on the bottom of the deck was the Three of Cups, which is literally like friendship, and it's also Mercury transiting into Cancer. This is the Mercury in Cancer card, and Mercury is going to be moving into Cancer on June 8th, so I do feel like maybe that's going to be a good transit for you. Yeah. Here's the Hierophant card, which also Venus moves into Taurus on June 6th. This is the Taurus card. So I feel like there's some good energy, especially that week. So maybe like really the second week of the month around friends in particular. Okay, so let's see what else we can find for this June 2025. What you need to know about friends and family. We'll start with friends because that's what was really coming up first. Okay, a bunch of cards just went flipped. Okay, I'm definitely seeing like something about traveling to like a travel friend trip. Okay, so go like, yeah, if maybe it's like little quick road trips or visits or things like that. It just seems like there's a lot more time with friends this month, but I'm also seeing that sometimes you're gonna need to say no. Like you are going to get burned out sometimes, so like listen to your body is strongly what I'm getting. And then in part in the overall reading I was talking about also like making sure you're kind of paying attention to what you're consuming. Go back and watch that if you didn't already, because that seems really important related to this, because I do see you sometimes getting burned out from almost like overdoing it, like maybe like traveling to like, yeah, if you're just like constantly on the move, it's almost like you're missing out on the times to just connect to your intuition. So it's actually super important. But I do see a lot of fun travel, Six of Crystals and the Wheel of Fortune. I see the High Priestess, I see the Empress. And so I feel like this is about making sure that, especially with the Four of Crystals coming out, you also have time where you kind of get back into your own energy and especially allow some time for intuition, especially with Cancer season, especially with Mercury going into Cancer, especially with Venus being in Taurus. There's a lot of this like feminine energy. This is for everybody, regardless of your gender, it doesn't matter. But like this is a time where, you know, like the moon will go into Cancer. Then we have the new moon in Cancer on June 25th. I talked about the transits in the first part, but it's like all of this Cancer energy, all this feminine energy, that's deep intuition. And it's very hard to be in touch with your intuition if you are constantly around all other people's energy. So I do see that you're going to need some recharge time where you're by yourself and you get in touch with your intuition. I'm also seeing that a lot of relationships with women are going to be important, in particular friends and family. Okay, so again, regardless of your gender, relationships with, and now I do mean the gender, women, will be significant this month. Okay, so whether that's your mom, your sister, your female friends, that is definitely coming through as being really important and like just really connecting with these energies. Okay, it's almost like you get some like intuitive hits when you're with them as well, and it helps to like spark your growth, and there's healing related to this with the Star card. Okay, and it's making me think back to the overall cards for June as well, where we had the 10 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. Something about, so like here's also that like mothering feminine energy. So like this literally might be like important women in your life. And with the 10 of Wands and the 5 of Wands, I feel like maybe there's somebody who has been telling you, or kind of like, hey, like the way that you've been doing something hasn't really been working, and they want to support you, but they're also trying to like show you that like that way or that path just hasn't been like the best path, and they're gonna support you as you are like letting go of that path. Okay, and that's what I'm seeing with the Star card followed by the 6 of Wands. They're gonna support you towards your actual success. You're gonna finally have some of these like breakthrough moments too, because I do also see the Page of Cups coming through. So like I do feel like there's been something that some women in your life that are platonic, right? Friends or family women have been telling you. And it's like you finally are like, I get it, light bulb moment. Okay, and they'll be like, I've been telling you, but they're not rubbing this in your face. Okay, but like they're like, okay, you finally get it. Now let's shift priorities back to the 2 of Stars we saw at the beginning, and now you're going to be ready for success, joy, prosperity, 4 of Wands. Okay, I see the Queen of Stars and the Page of Crystals on the bottom of the deck also. Oh my goodness. And then I also see the Sun and the Moon. Holy cow. So much feminine energy, because now we have, you know, the Queen of Cups had come out, the Queen of Stars, we have 2 pages, Page of Cups, Page of Crystals, High Priestess, and Empress. That's so much feminine energy. Your relationship with women, platonic, again, relationships with women, super, super important this month. And then again, the moon and the sun. Well, this is telling me there's like this balance between like your intuition and your play. Having that time of like reflecting for yourself, making sure you're making space for that, and then also being around other people and like letting all the energy out. That's really important. That also is like, comes back to the 2 of Stars, the balance that you need to strike. So this does seem to be especially related to friends and family, like having that, striking that balance of like alone time and time where you are with other people, okay? Anything in particular that this collective needs to know or understand specifically about family in the month of June 2025? Thank you, Spirit. Anything particularly about family for June 2025 that we didn't already get on? You guys, more travel cards coming out, okay? 8 of Cups, 3 of Wands. So I really am getting that, like, there's like visits with family, visits with friends. You might be traveling, they might be traveling. There's just more travel. And if you haven't seen family for a while or something like that, maybe this is you booking travel, planning to see people. So I just feel like that's important. You're supposed to surround yourself with people who do support you. And this could also be chosen family. Okay, but I'm just getting that like there is some importance of that. But the other thing I'm getting with the 8 of Cups and the 3 of Wands is that, especially in regards to family, I feel like, and especially seeing the Star card too. Wow, even as I'm looking at the 6 of Crystals, it's like there's some story, some narrative that you've been telling yourself about your family and about how you interact with your family. And it's kind of like that story, it's not working for you anymore. You don't need to keep telling yourself that story. There's some parts of your story that are very important still, and that's fine. But there's some parts of your story where it's actually blocking you. I think coming back to the 10 of Wands and the 5 of Wands, there's some parts of your story that like, it's almost like you're putting this like painful heartache onto you about your story with your family. And I think you can shift this story. There's something about this time, the month of June, where you're shifting this narrative in a way that allows you to feel better. It's heart healing. And this is like an invitation for you. Okay, so if you're not sure what story or narrative this is, maybe this is something to journal on. Maybe you will get this like intuitive hit with the Page of Cups and the Page of Crystals about what this is about. Okay, it's very likely to be more related to the women in your family. It could be related to your gender identity within your family. But I'm just getting that like some story you don't have to keep on reliving. You can shift the narrative. You can walk away from that story towards something that makes you feel more loved, towards something that makes you feel more celebrated. And maybe it's like you've spent enough time living in that book and you're the main character of your story, so you can have a different book now. A different story. That's what I'm getting. So I hope that helps. Let's take a look next at career and finances.